Shari, let me go back to the question I wanted to just see before cross, but I'm kind of glad we saw the cross because I think we get a whole picture of her right now, a bigger picture. The trauma that's either on the jury, can they be fair listening to all this because they're seeing pictures too that we're not showing you, and also the trauma if they believe that indeed Rebecca Dishman is a victim here of Sean Finnegan, and that she may have had trauma in her life. Talk to us about that.
In terms of the jury, I mean, I can't even imagine how overwhelmed and upset they must be sitting there. We can't see them, so we don't know what they're looking like or who they're looking at as she's on the stand. Yesterday, I listened to Rebecca testify. She went into graphic detail, many incidents where she claims he committed awful acts onto her. And there were even at some point pictures that the jury saw of him doing very abusive things to her. I think, the problem here is that the jury has to figure out, is she being truthful in terms of her role? Being a victim is terrible and awful. And it's clear that this is a woman who is not well. She doesn't, she feels trapped. It sounds like she's very disconnected from the outside world. So for the jury to figure out, is this a credible witness? Do we believe her? So far, we haven't heard anything about her and her past. The only thing that we've really heard about is what she had to live with and what kind of awful acts were committed onto her allegedly by Sean. So my hope for this jury is that when they're leaving at the end of the day, because they can't talk about the case, that they find ways to figure out how to process and put to the side some of these awful things that we're hearing about, because these are the type of cases where when the trial ends, some of these jury members are going to want to go to therapy just to talk about the trauma and the horror that they've just experienced sitting in that courtroom.